Hey guys, I just wanted to come on and make a video. It's actually been something that's been on the back of my mind for quite a while, but I have had absolutely no way of doing this. Like lots of other people, I have cards at PSA in somewhere in the backlog in the ether of the grading ether off at PSA. I have a submission. I have submissions going back to. I dropped them in the mail. Would have been first week. I think it was November 7th, 2020. Was my oldest one, and I sent it off to my group submitter in the States. It makes way more sense for me to use a group submitter. Just it saves me quite a bit on shipping and stuff, and he had cheaper rates and all that, so that's what I did. And then they've been at PSA. They've been in grading stage at PSA since early August. Who knows, man? I don't know. I don't know if these cards will ever come back. I hope they will. But going through eBay and stuff, checking like how they've been doing and this and that on prices and stuff. It only goes back 3 months, and I need at least a year. So, and I don't know if they were reading my mind or what, but one of the guys at Card Hedge, JD, he's got a channel, JD Sports Cards. Actually, I was commenting on one of his videos, and he got a hold of me and was like, "Hey, man, would you like to try out Card Hedge and maybe become an affiliate and stuff?" And I was like, "Dude, you're seriously reading my mind, because I've been thinking about getting one of these services for a while." So I've been playing around with Card Hedge, and it's pretty decent. For like full disclosure, yeah, he gave me a free account and whatnot, so to try it out and things, and yeah, I dig it. It's pretty good, the stuff you can do. And man, I'm sorry for how this is set up. They're probably cringing. If he's watching this video, he's probably like, "Oh my god, you're making my service look like a pile of crap." Because dude, I shoot everything on my phone. This is the best I can come up with. I am so computer illiterate, it's not even funny. So yeah, man, you got it. I'm pointing my phone at my computer. Not even my computer screen. It's my kid's Chromebook. I don't even own a laptop, for God's sakes. So whatever. This is what we're doing. So I wanted to look at the cards that I have in my PSA, my very first PSA submission. There's 15 cards, and there's a bunch of duplicates and stuff. So I think I only have 6 cards for this video, but a bunch of them have 2 or 3, 4 copies of each one. So this is what I am doing. I wanted to take a look at what they've done over the last year, and here it is. And they're all junk wax. They're all 1980s and early 1990s basketball and baseball. That's my jam. That's the stuff I like. If you watch any of my other videos, I do a little bit of modern baseball and stuff, but it's pretty much all junk wax. So this is a card everybody recognizes. This is the 1992 Topps Shaquille O'Neal, number 362. I got the little information down at the bottom. It has been graded by PSA up to within a day or two ago whenever I was writing these numbers down. Basically, 21,000 times. PSA 10 pop is 3,500, and there are almost closing in on 12,000 PSA 9s. Gives it a gem rate of 16.8%. That's the highest of all the cards that I'm going to go through. That's a whole nother video that I would like to make about how people like to rag all over junk wax because, oh man, there's a billion of those cards and this and that. Yeah, this is the highest gem rate of all the cards I'm going through, and it's at 16.8%. And another video I'd like to make on why this is going to ruffle some feathers. If you got modern basketball, if you got modern baseball, for the most part, it's going to be worth absolutely nothing. I hope you trade the players while they're playing and stuff, because down the road, they are going to be worth absolutely nothing. We're talking about Shaquille O'Neal. Whatever. I'm not even going to get into that. I just want to stick with what I'm doing. All right, so yeah, starting off basically about a year ago, maybe not even, like I just sent these off November 7th, and about the earliest it goes back is December 27th, 28th. were they when I sent them off? Yeah, around 345. This is all American dollars too, of course. 345 for the 10 and $46 for the 9. And we are now at about 230 for a 10 and 30 for a 9. So the 9 enjoyed a roller coaster up into February. It was hitting the peak it hit was, God, like $438. The 10 was what, 1,700? That's insane for the 92 tops. Actually, I thought maybe oh no, the gold. Yeah, this is the regular regular base version, not the gold. And then ever since then, it has just a very nice, slow, steady descent all the way down to where we are right now at about $230. About 230, yeah, 230 and $30 for a 9. Almost full circle. It was a little bit higher when I sent them off. So they're about where they were when I sent them off, even slightly lower. That's insane. It would have been really nice to have gotten them back anywhere from, I don't know, near the end of January till probably beginning of April or end of April. Anywhere in there might have been nice, because I think I had 3 or 4 of these in that submission, and it would have been nice to have maybe sold a couple. Could have paid for the entire submission and then some, because when I sent these off, his price was like, I think it was $9 a card. That's the only reason I haven't gotten a hold of PSA and my group submitter and said I want my cards back, is because it was $9 grading. PSA was this. That's why I went with PSA. They were the cheapest graders you could get, and going through a group submitter, $9 a card. Nobody else was as cheap as them. So yeah, I can't. If I ask for all my cards back now, I'm completely missing out on the cheap grading. So that's the first card that I had wanted to look at. This is the 1992 Fleer Shack, card number 401. These are all base cards. It's been graded by PSA 3,800 times, almost 3,900, 605 10s, and 1,800 PSA 9s. Gem rate of 15.6%. So I only went with 9s and 10s up for this kind of for this video, because I'm hoping, like, if they get any of these cards less than a 9, it's a whatever card. It's a whatever graded. What are you going to do with it? Nothing. You just kind of put it in the box. Maybe trade with somebody who is a big Shaquille O'Neal fan or whatever. Put it in a lot. I don't know. Like, even at $9 grading, like, when I sent these in, PSA 9 was what? $29. And the 10, yeah, I don't understand. I think maybe they only started tracking this card in a PSA 10 maybe January 4th, because it doesn't make sense that they're at $0 before January, what, 4th? 5th? 4th? Yeah, 4th. So yeah, going back January 4th, $280 for a 10 and $35 for 9. And this, holy cow, look at this card, man. This card's been all over the place. And it's actually not doing too bad. 250 is basically complete full circle. 280 here. Last sale around the 23rd. 250 and $28. But look at the oh my god. Things have been all over the place. Yeah, again, another card that would have been nice to have gotten it back, like, anywhere in here somewhere. This one I only have one of, so it'll, and I'm a fan of Shaq. Like, I was a fan of Shaq. This is right when I was like big time collecting back then. It was like right around 92, 90 to 90. 92 was like when I was really going crazy. 89, I kind of was just when I started, around the end of second half 89, and then I kind of tailed off in 93. So Those were my 4 years, and Shaq was everything back then, man. He was it was insane. Everything was Shaq. You watch basketball, it's like, yeah, Jordan, of course, but Shaquille, he was insane. He was such a That's such another video. I'm quite every time I look at this Card Hedge stuff, I kind of think of another video I'd like to do. And this is the third card I wanted to talk about. This is a whole video by itself. This is the 1992. This is the trade card. In what year? Classic. I believe it was Classic. If anybody remembers those guys, Classic 4 Sport, and then they had Classic Basketball, Baseball, Football, all that. They had a licensing agreement with Shaq. So Upper Deck when he came out at the beginning of the season, they weren't allowed to have him in their set. So they had to put in redemption cards that you couldn't, and then you weren't allowed to redeem them until after his contract with Classic was finished. So you got these redemption cards, and then you had to, after a certain date, you could mail them to Upper Deck. Me living in Canada, I don't even remember how many months it took, but basically mail them in plus $6 or something like that for return postage. And I remember when these cards came back. This is the 1B card, not the number 1, which was in the high numbers. This is the 1B, the redemption card. This card has been graded by PSA 8,567 times. There are 329 PSA 10s. That is a gem rate of 3.8%. This right here is junk wax. These cards are everywhere. You can go on eBay and buy these in the lots, like 10 card lots if you want to. But you're not going to get a 10. The gem rate is less than 4%. And why? One of the reasons, I remember the day that these cards showed up. I was out doing whatever. I came home. My mom's like, "Hey, you got a letter." And this is back when you get a letter. It's like, what? I got a letter. What are you talking about? Just a regular white paper envelope. I opened it up. Inside was a 1-page little thing, or like just a 1 sheet of paper from Upper Deck. Hey, thanks for supporting. Blah blah blah. Here's your cards. And then inside the envelope was the 5. I sent off 5 of these redemption cards. They punched a hole in it, like a deck of cards from Vegas. Punched a hole in it, threw them in the envelope, threw in your 5 redemption cards, and mailed it off. There were no penny sleeves. There were no top loaders. There wasn't even a stiffener in the envelope. It was 1 piece of paper, 1 letter kind of thing from Upper Deck, and 10 loose cards in an envelope, traveling across North America. So just imagine what kind of shape. Can you imagine if like Panini did that with redemption cards now? Like that's how you got them. And so this card being graded 8,500 times, and there being 329 10s with a gem rate that low, like I would go out on a limb and say that this card will never break 500. It will never break 500 PSA 10s, because I know what these cards went through to get to me, and to find one and with the full border. Everybody knows this card, and it's full black right to the edges border picture. The 4 that I sent in, I'm pretty sure 3 of them, I sent in 4. 2 of them, I was like, yeah, they're 9s. And 2 of them had an outside shot at possibly a 10. But I know they're not going to come. I know they're not going to come back 10. I'm expecting either 4 9s or even a couple 8s and a couple 9s. And the price on these cards, first of all, they've kind of been all over the place. When I sent them in, they were doing quite well, actually. They were like $904 for a 10 and $43 for a 9. And now they're like $650 for a 10 and $61 for a 9. And this is Shaquille O'Neal. He's in the Hall of Fame. He has 4 rings. He's got as many championship rings as LeBron. When he came into the league, man, like you can't even imagine. Like You go down to Foot Locker and they had, like, he had, you know, of course he had the shoe deal and everything else. You could go down to Foot Locker and they had, sitting out front on this big pedestal, one of his shoes. Like one of his size, whatever they were, what were they, 27 or 25? Like one of his shoes. And you could like go down to Foot Locker and check out. It's like, oh man, go down to the mall and go to Foot Locker. They got one of Shaq's shoes there. And it was like this like, huge monsters thing. He's like still relevant. He's done movies. He's had reality TV shows. He has a whole bunch of albums out. He did rap for a while, you know, of course, whatever. But he did rap for a while. He still DJs. He's been on like one of the funniest when they do the Comedy Central roasts, one of the funniest roasts I've ever seen had Shaquille O'Neal and Kevin Hart doing a thing. It was freaking hysterical. And he's still on ESPN. He still does analysis, and he still does the NBA stuff. And you're talking a card with a gem rate of 3.8%, 329 of them for Hall of Fame, one of the most recognizable guys ever in the sport, you know, and he's at $650 for a card with a population of 329. So, yeah, I don't hold on to your modern basketball. They're not going to be worth anything. You want low pop? Here you go. Low pop. And one of the most, my mom's in her 70s. She knows who Shaquille O'Neal is. Everybody knows that. She couldn't name a single modern guy nowadays. So whatever. That's a whole different ball of wax, a whole different conversation. Anyways, and yeah, that card basically would have been nice to get back at any one of those in there sometime, but basically has ended off about the same as when I sent it in. And the next card was this number 3. Boop. 1989 Donruss, Ken Griffey Jr. This is card number 33. Also very iconic. Ken Griffey Jr. I got 2 PC guys. Ken Griffey Jr., Michael Jordan. Those are like my 2 guys. 90%, maybe even more, 95, 90, high 90s percentage of all the cards that I buy now are Griffey and Jordan. And a little bit other stuff, like there's other guys that I kind of have PC'd, Ichiro. You know, I do like my Shaq stuff. Some of the older baseball. Connor McDavid, Connor McDavid, because that's just the region I live in. Is everything is, they call him McJesus around here, and but anyways, we're getting off topic again. Yeah, Donruss. This card has been graded 36,000 times by PSA. There are 1,868 10s and 11,478 9s. Anybody who has ripped this wax understands the issues that come with it. With the chipping around the edges, the centering and all, like, it's insane. I went through, when I was getting back in, I was like, I really want one of these Griffies. I have an Upper Deck one, his most iconic, but it's not in the greatest shape. So I wanted one of these, and I ripped through 3 boxes. I think I got 1 per box. And the one that I sent in is actually one that I ripped out of a pack in '89 because it was in the best condition. I'm like, oh my God, this one actually does have a shot at a 10, unless PSA is doing a bit of the old pop control kind of garbage. But the roller coaster that this card's been on, it's actually doing not too bad. It started out at $348 and $39, and it's sitting at about $410 and $44. So basically a 9 is a wash. A 10 will be all right. This would go nowhere anyways. This is a card from a pack that I pulled in '89. Doesn't matter what it gets. It's not going anywhere. But a year in PSA has not done it much justice. Another card. This is 85 Topps Kirby Puckett. I believe I have 3 of these. I bought them all off of eBay. They were all in really nice condition. Like, I know one of them for sure is at least a 9, but then two of them have a decent shot at a 10. It's been graded 10,239 times. There are 469 10s and 3,200 PSA 9s. Gem rate, 4.6%. You're sending these cards in. They have such a slim chance at a 10. I would be over the moon if one of the ones that I sent in, the 3 that I sent in, gets a 10. One for sure has an absolute like legitimate shot, but whatever. We'll see when it comes back. So yeah, this is a card that actually wasn't doing too bad at all. This is a January 29th. I feel like it was not this high because I was buying these cards raw for like $8, $6 on eBay. So I don't know. We'll see. $9 to grade. So $62 for a 10, or 62 for a 9, $6.30 for a 10, and yeah, ending off the last sales are about 7, 10, and 63. So a 9 has basically, it's come up a tiny little bit, but it's basically been about even. The 10s, like everything else in the last year, up and down and all over the place. But so for the most part, another card that a year in PSA really hasn't done it much good. It would have been nice to get it back somewhere in between the ups and downs. And the last one is an 81 Topps Tim Raines. Yeah, gem rate, 3.6%. It's been graded 4,600 times. There's only 170 10s and 1,377 9s. Another classic junk wax card. Well, even pre-junk wax, they were not printed well. The centering, everything on these cards is tough, is really, really rough. But this card is actually done quite well. From when I sent it in, when they started collecting data on it, yeah, the 9 at 62 and the 10 at 580 and ending off over $1,100. Not too many sales of this card though, because of the fact that there's only 170. 22-minute video. I'm gonna end it off there. I hope your guys' cards at PSA are doing better than mine. I feel like at this point, breaking even or coming out with the prices the same as they were a year ago, you're probably doing okay because so much other stuff has dropped. Yeah. So yeah, check out Card Hedge. I'm a fan. I've been using them for a couple weeks now. I have a link down below. Hopefully, if I can figure out how to do it. Computer illiterate, as I said. Talk to you guys later. Peace.